Hey everybody, so good to be back with you again. Man, we've had an exciting last few weeks, haven't we? With calling Pastor Ryan and then having him say yes. I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. And I'm thrilled that you're continuing to champion this biblical value of connecting. The early church in Acts chapter 2 spent a lot of time together. They did life together and they shared things. They prayed for each other. They helped each other. They were involved in each other's lives. And that's what you're doing. And I'm just so grateful for you. And this last weekend, if you remember back, we've continued through this study of 1 Samuel with King David. And the key principle that if you want a friend, then start being a friend. And we talked about 5 different ways to build friendships. If you remember back, we talked about sharing values, expressing love, defending verbally. We talked about revealing honestly and then encouraging spiritually. The principle behind it all is that God meant for us to do life together. We need people in our lives. And that's why God sovereignly brought Jonathan to David. And God will bring you a friend too, but there's some things that you're going to have to do, and that's what we tried to emphasize. If you don't do that, especially the expression of honesty and the transparency of what's really going on in your life, if you don't do that, you can have a ton of people around you, but you can be absolutely lonely. And I'm wondering if any of you in your group are feeling lonely. It'd be a good time and a good place to maybe be honest and where we can support each other. And I didn't have time to get into all the illustrations of this. There's lots of biblical illustrations, but there were 2 that struck me in my preparation that might be familiar names to some of us that are a little bit older. I think most everybody knows Elvis Presley. What people don't know is towards the end of his life, he really battled depression. And at one of his last shows in Las Vegas before he died, he essentially had an emotional breakdown on stage. And he simply started crying and he said to the people, "I am just really lonely." Somebody with millions of people around him, but nobody to connect to in the heart. Remember, friends are joined at the heart. The other illustration is another older entertainer by the name of Sammy Davis Jr. Again, world famous man. And one of his famous lines was, I've had bucks, I've had booze, and I've had broads. It's a real derogatory way to speak about women. But he said, and I discovered at the end of my life, I had nothing. Because he had no sense of connection. He didn't share a common interest with anybody. It was just all about him. He certainly didn't experience that unselfish love. He didn't have all that verbal support. He didn't have the encouragement. And he certainly didn't have anybody with whom he could connect in his heart. And that makes all the difference in the world. So Scotty has done up some great questions for you. I'm so appreciative of Scotty and all that he has done. So dig in and take a few minutes, talk about times when you've been lonely and maybe times when you felt really, really connected. And how can we experience that together? So enjoy your time, and I think this is going to be the last blog that we do for the summer months. So may the Lord bless you, and I'll look forward to seeing you at church.